You know, it's funny that has like all of the new stuff that's out for like all the Six Flags parks, and I look and I feel like ours is like Flash, but everybody else is like so cool looking. You know, I'm like,
there are all these cool rides, and ours is like a camping tent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, damn it! Why do they look like they have cooler shit than us? You know,
it's awesome.
Love it. Hello, and welcome to episode number 26 of Some Great Adventures, the podcast where old friends who met and worked at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, chat about our days in the park. As usual, our podcast is made possible by our friends at the Shared Universe Podcast Studio. We're recording via Facebook Live, so the video version is always available on our Facebook page, and the audio version will be up on all major podcasting platforms within a few days. I am Steve Hicks, and my co-hosts are
Scott Loudon,
Chris Peluso.
Sure.
I know it's been a couple months, but wow, what a pause.
We're rusty. It's all good. It was drama. A little pause for drama.
I love it. Let me tell you, I mean, it's our first podcast of 2024, and it feels appropriate because they opened last weekend, which is so early. It's kind of crazy, but they started weekends only already last Saturday. But never fear, typical New Jersey weather, they were already shut down for weather yesterday. So they got in last Saturday and Sunday. Today is beautiful. It's freezing out, but it's beautiful. So they're open today. But yeah, they already got screwed for one day out of their first 2 weekends. So that's kind of funny. Wow, I got to tell you, there are so many changes that we knew about and we heard about, but there's also rumors of new changes going on. And then there's a lot of changes that we didn't know about that did happen. And thankfully, I follow so many groups now that me and Scott were going to go yesterday, but obviously got rained out. But we realized by the middle of last week, we didn't need to go anyway, because I saw so many posts of people posting their entire opening day experience that I just pulled from there. I was like, we can go in the next couple of weeks. I was like, there's already enough here to like walk through opening weekend, because a lot of people had opinions about a lot of things. Let me tell you, both good and bad, not all bad.
I heard rumors are making changes to their changes that they were going to change, and they're not going to change them now.
That is true. That is absolutely confirmed. You're right. The first thing I will point out is that we might have to change the name of the podcast, because they're no longer Six Flags Great Adventure. They're Six Flags Great Adventure Resort. If you look at all of their marketing, it literally says Six Flags Great Adventure Resort, and then underneath it, in a little byline, it says theme park, water park, safari, glamping. So now they have, and it's 4 things that they can do. And I know we all kind of want to laugh right now because I'm looking at all your faces.
So it truly is Great Adventures now.
It is Great Adventures.
It is. Only Great Adventure could pitch a few tents and change the resort.
Exactly, and call themselves a resort. I'm sure they dug a hole for a pool or something.
I'm put in my backyard and call my house a resort.
Hold on, though. If you look up resort, the definition of resort is a place that's a popular destination for vacations or recreation. So I guess they earned the title.
You gotta look up the definition to justify it that it isn't a resort. It's too much of a stretch.
I mean, quite honestly, I looked up the definition because I was like, do they really meet the definition of a resort? And I was actually pleasantly surprised that they do. I will give them credit, they do.
They probably
But, you know,
like, we can
they totally did,
Awesome.
you know.
So good.
So that kind of cracked me up, man. I was like, that's pretty funny. All right, let's talk about some of their opening stuff. So, like I said, they opened up last weekend. I'm not going to go into the feedback on it yet. What I will say is one of the things that they were pitching, that they were saying that, you guys can do this, is for the 50th anniversary. It's going to be a whole new thing. And we've discussed it. And I posted a picture of our version yesterday, is the Dream Street Pathway bricks that they were offering to sell. So the pathway is done. It's between the 4 tents on the Dream Street walkway, and it looks gorgeous, actually. It's just it looks like the fucking yellow brick road, but it's red brick, okay? I mean, it's really well done between the 4 tents. I guess while they stay weekends only, now that that's done, they're going to start replacing it with the actual engraved bricks, because right now it's
still plain.
bricks. Yeah, it's all plain bricks, and you can see them online. I was going to post a picture of it, but Great Adventure's been posting it themselves. They've actually, I give a lot of credit. During this entire last 2 months, they've been posting on all their social media updates on, like, you could see the beginning of the flash ride being built right from the little posts, like the cement posts, putting a lot of kind of cool updates. They've been posting updates of the brickwork being done. It's fully completed. A lot of people took pictures last week of them just walking down that pathway. And it's kind of neat. However, in typical Six Flags fashion, we like to be fair on this podcast and give them their kudos and smack them down when they deserve it. And the bricks, they deserve a big fucking smackdown right now in the head, okay? Because these annoying sons of bitches send me an email on March 6th, okay? So we're only talking a couple weeks ago, and it says, payment incomplete, 50th anniversary brick, Six Flags Great Adventure Resort. That's the subject. Payment incomplete. I know I bought those fucking bricks right when they offered them. What the fuck? I open my email, and it's from SFGA Marketing, their official site. It's not spam. Basically, they're saying, thank you for your interest in purchasing a Six Flags Great Adventure brick. It looks like you began to place an order for sales going live on November 29th, 2023. Access to the website and purchases attempted prior to this date were not authorized by the park, and no payment method was provided on the site. If you're still interested in getting a brick, blah, 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 you can still buy one. Here you go, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm reading this. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
So they wouldn't accept the payments?
So I go back and double check, and to their credit, I cannot find where they ever took my payment. Okay. But I absolutely have the fucking verification email that says, thank you for processing the order, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I've come to find out. First of all, I immediately went in when I saw they didn't process the payment. I got us a brick. Okay. So we're still getting our brick. The replicas are still coming, the whole damn deal. But they opened it for registration on Monday, November 27th of last year. Okay. Apparently, if you actually were excited like I was and you completed your registration on the 27th or the 28th, they just ignored it, and they didn't take any of those registrations and actually process them until the 29th. Their statement where they're like, oh, it was unauthorized, blah, 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 is total bullshit, because they're going through a third-party vendor. And when I actually processed my real order, 3 weeks ago when they sent me this email, I got the same goddamn verification email. The only difference is on this one, I then got a verification that my payment went through, and I got a verification, and it said you can print your your authenticity certificate right now, which I did not have on the last one, but it is the same email from the same goddamn company. So what that means is Great Adventure worked with a company who maybe the company made a mistake and it wasn't Great Adventure's fault. They opened in 2 days, but you know what? Don't screw me, because these bricks, these bricks and the replicas for us 4 cost more than I could have bought 2 of you a diamond pass for the entire year. That's not a fucking joke. They're not fucking cheap. So you could have went to all of your local Six Flags parks and every Six Flags park for the next year for the same goddamn price. So in my head, I'm like, So you assholes just didn't want my money because there was a lot of it out there, and this is why you have problems, you know?
Which I imagine most people either are super excited about this brick or they don't give a shit at all. So
Bingo.
everyone who really wanted one, I'm sure, went the first couple of days.
I wonder how many people had this happen to them, and it really fucking annoyed me. What really annoyed me is that a week before this email came to me, people started getting the replica bricks, and they started posting their certificate of authenticity. And I was like, I didn't. Well, I know I did it on the first fucking day, so I should get it. Nothing. And then I get this fucking email, so I'm all annoyed. You know?
So where's our brick now? Like in front of the bathroom?
No, so here's the joke. So the bricks don't matter because none of the bricks are out anyway. I think what they're doing is, I think the bricks, they're stopping taking orders in like a week or two, and they're putting them in before they go full time. So basically, once they stop taking orders, they'll finish them out then, but they're just going to keep on putting them in during the weekends only period. The shitty thing is, when they first allowed you to buy them, they had one logo, which was the old traditional Six Flags logo, which I loved, okay? And it allowed you 3 lines. And you only have a certain amount of text on each line. None of the lines then or now could I ever fit all of our names, like first and last name. You can never do it. So I put our first names and initials. I put 2 of us on the top line, 2 of us on the middle line, and I put the podcast on the last line. It said SGA podcast. Well, now the new way, when I submit it, they have 2 logos you can choose, the traditional logo or the 50th anniversary logo. If you pick the traditional, you only get 2 lines. If you pick the 50th anniversary, which I want the traditional because that's the logo we use, just with our modification of it. So I wanted that logo, but then I couldn't put the podcast on it. I can only put our names. If you pick, and then I realized though, if you pick the 50th one, it had even less space. I couldn't fit the podcast anyway, so it didn't matter. So I just said, fuck it. So, and at the end of the day, it's the one that you guys saw. I sent you guys the thing and I posted it. The certificate, what's on that authenticity thing is exactly what it looks like on the brick. The bricks, none of them are out there yet. They will be. But, you know, this is just me bitching and moaning a little bit because that really pissed me off. I was like, you know, I did it first and what the hell?
There's going to be a long line of ex-employees that Steve fired waiting in line to pee on that brick.
Oh, absolutely.
You think anybody's going to be like, so where is it?
Yeah, wait. I have news for you. I may have the highest fire rate of all 4 of us. However, I'm sure all of us have a line that's going to be lining up to piss on that brick.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a line, maybe. I don't know. Also, I'll take the Blue Parrot, man. Best AC in the park.
I agree.
Hey, I'll take Blue Parrot. Door opens, get that nice cool air breeze.
Right? Yeah, here's one thing I did find funny as fuck. They marketed the shit in their emails and on social media the week before Valentine's Day. This is the marketing. A timeless Valentine's gift. 50th anniversary bricks. Give your sweetheart a gift as timeless as your love. A personalized Dream Street Pathway anniversary brick. Celebrate your love story with a one-of-a-kind token that screams, we're in for the ride of a lifetime because love is the greatest adventure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, kudos to the marketing guy. I loved all the comments underneath it. Like for like the social media ones were hysterical. And in my head, I had to agree with all of them because I'll be quite honest. If I gave my lady, if I dropped the $100 and something for the brick itself that it would have cost and said, look, our brick is memorialized at Six Flags, she would have lifted it and hit me in the fucking head with the brick. She would not have been appreciative of that brick. But I thought that was hysterical. They were trying to push the sales on Valentine's. I thought that was funny as shit, man. I will say I have seen a lot of people posting now the bricks that they got because you can pull the image off that, you know, the certificate. And one of our own, Jason Vajier, he bought 2 of them actually. And one of them was in memory to one of his family members, which was really cool. And the other one was his family name, which I thought was really neat. And then there is another one I saw from someone I don't know. She was just in one of the groups. Her name is Lauren, but it was really cool. She got the replica brick too. She posted a picture of the replica, and it was neat because her and her husband met at the park. So their brick says Lauren and Brandon met here 2014. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool. So there were some people using these bricks for some kind of like really sentimental, really cool reasons. And I thought that was really neat. The only thing I will say though is that we all know Six Flags. Not to bring up a bad part of their history, but I remember like Memorial Gardens being built, and I remember other things that were really nice. And none of them are there anymore. So I'm wondering how many years before our brick is gone anyway. But hopefully,
Did you get a lease?
What's that?
Did they give you a lease? Do we have a certain number
They don't
of years?
say how long that brick
don't
walkway is
specify?
going to be there. No, but that would be funny as fuck if they gave us a lease. That'd be hysterical. However, one thing I will say is that
Yeah, Disney ripped them out.
Because then they can resell that spot again.
Bingo! Yeah, that's absolutely true. I just hope that when they're wearing down, they decide to take them out.
Disney
Someone we
pulled
know
the wall.
there. Yeah, I just want the brick. Like, I want the real brick. When they're going to take it out, just give me my brick. Like, because we're all going to get a replica, but I want a real one, you know?
Wait till the work crew just hot sees them all and erases all the names anyway.
That's probably true. I mean, I don't know how deep the engraving's going to be. We'll see, but yeah. That's actually going to be cool, though, when we go the first time to look and see, find our brick, take a picture of it, and see, does it look like a brick that's going to last more than a year? You know what I mean? So, but one of the other things they were promoting that we'll talk about when we get into the opening day, because this pissed a lot of people off too, is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but they do have a benefit that they give to pass holders where they have a double rides day, where they just pick, and it's usually a weekend, and they say double rides weekend. So if you have a pass, you just go up to a booth and they give you a wristband, and you can stay on every ride twice. So it's double rides day, right? So I don't know what genius thought this up, but I guess they thought it'd be really smart to make their opening weekend last weekend a double rides day. So most of the people obviously going on the first weekend are probably pass holders because it was so early. And yeah, we'll get to that, but not a lot of people like double rides day on opening weekend.
No, your capacity is immediately cut in half.
Well, I'll give up the bear now. They also operated on a one train operation for every coaster. So they did double ride day with one train, and apparently the park was fucking like not super packed, but packed enough that they had lines, and people were really pissed off, especially people that paid for the day and don't have a pass and didn't get the wristband. They were not fucking happy, man. They were not happy. So that's a little crazy.
Wow.
I'm not going to get into this a lot. It's funny. So if you get a season pass, you get a bottle. You get it's one of those like steel cups or whatever. It's reusable, and for the entire year, you go there and you get free refills. Okay. So it's a big deal. Like, people love that. Families love it because it saves so much fucking money just going in and refilling it, right?
You pay extra for that, or it comes with the pass?
It comes with the pass. You have to go in, you have to show you have to like let them scan your pass, and they give you the bottle. The Diamond Pass gets it, and all the passes above it get it too. And the people that have like the lifetime holdover passes, the grandfather passes, they get one too. Now, here's a funny thing. I remember reading that the red member bottles, which were the ones that they got in the lifetime pass, and I'm pretty sure it's the red ones. Those were the ones they used to claim were like, these are good forever. Once you got it, you're good. And then I got an email about like 3 or 4 weeks ago saying all red bottles are phased out. They're no longer eligible for 2024. They're all gone. You have to get a new bottle. Everybody's got to get a new bottle. You have to get a new bottle, which is fine. Whatever. If you're platinum, diamond elite VIP, we all get a bottle basically, and I'm diamond, so I get a bottle. So when we go the first time, I'll get one. Funny enough, we tried to go end of last year because since I renewed mine before we went for the end of the year, I should have got it then. Nobody had them. So I couldn't even get mine last year. So that was funny. Sent out a big bunch of announcements about it. And what's funny is a lot of people are like pissed off, A, because now they got to switch to bottles. But B, what they're really pissed about is that they're taking away the refillable fountains. You can't just walk up anymore and just use your thing and refill it, because apparently people were abusing the shit out of it and like just letting other people use their bottle, or they were like, when people weren't looking, they were just taking regular bottles and using it, like there's a lot of abuse going on basically. Okay. So they're going to whatchamacallit. They're going to get rid of all that. Okay. And what you have to do now is you have to go into a line, and an employee behind the counter will refill it. So now every time you want to get a refill, you're on this long ass refill line. So obviously people are up in arms about it, because they're like, holy shit. Like, we used to be able to just go in there and get our goddamn, kids drink refilled, shut them up and get out. and now the lines are insane, and it's horrible. So that's a thing that's kind of a. I see why they're doing it. They're just trying to, let's be blunt. Once they merge with Cedar Fair, there's going to be a whole bunch of other changes, and they're going to have to affect things like this that both parks don't offer anyway. So this makes sense that they're starting to do this stuff now. But it is also kind of funny where they put stuff in place where the lines just get longer. And I can tell you right now, like the few times we've gone last year and the year before and we've gone to eat, I always have to wait in the damn line. The line is never fun. So now waiting in the line for the refill, I just wouldn't even bother. Me, myself, I won't even bring the cup. I mean, I'm not going to, first of all, I don't want to carry the cup anyways. You can't bring it on a ride. You got to put it in the locker. Every single ride, you have to put it in the locker. You have to pay for the locker individually for each ride unless you get the thing.
Holders there too on the ride. Some of them you can
not many. Yeah. Not all of them. And not many of them. For Great Adventure, not many. Some of the other parks have them on every single ride. We don't. So that's already a pain in the ass. So I'm like, to me, the bottles are a pain in the ass anyway. But it's just funny that these are like the stupid little things that online, I cannot tell you how uproar people are about this shit. So while they're doing that, though, and pissing people off, I will say they gave us a bonus. They must have heard me bitching last fucking year because remember I was bitching about the Speedy Pass?
Oh, yeah.
I was really pissed off about that because I get free parking with my pass. Then they create Speedy Pass. It's another goddamn charge, and it's speedier, and they're putting them in the premier parking spots I'm supposed to get. They've been parking me over near the freaking security booth near the screen machine. Walk all the way around. I'm like, this is not premier parking. I'm just getting treated like shit here. This year, if you have any of the pass holders, if you have a season's pass, it could be the platinum, the diamond. I believe it's also for the seasonal. I'm not positive, but they are saying it's plus member. I don't know what the hell that is. I think that's maybe the seasonal one, the regular seasonal one. They have now added speedy parking automatically to your pass. You have to just log into the app and you just put your license plate in. It registers it automatically. It sees it, and then you can literally just go right in and park. So
all those people who paid for the speedy parking.
Bingo! If you paid last fall, I think you got screwed. But if you didn't, like me, you got hooked up. So the other thing that's funny though is that I'll just say it now. In the feedback they gave from last weekend, Speedy Park wasn't working at all. So everybody trying to use it was just jammed into another line. It was confusion. They were telling people park over here, park over there. And apparently everything in the parking lot, I saw nobody happy about parking. Everybody bitched about parking. They said that was the biggest nightmare of like last weekend. Like the parking was really, really bad. They also offered me, they again changed their Flash Pass. I still don't fully understand it, but it looks like it's a lot simpler than it used to be. But they offer if you have any of the elite passes, the diamond, the platinum, whatever, you automatically get a discount if you want to buy a Flash Pass. I'm not gonna bother because I usually go with Scott or I go with my family. They won't have it, so I'm not gonna be the dick and go use the Flash Pass when I can't. But the tiers for the Flash Pass are it's now 3 tiers and each one has a different price. And standard means that I don't even understand this. The Flash Pass standard is equal to current wait time.
So you just don't have to wait in line, so you can just get a time and then you like.
I think that's exactly it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Flash Pass Premium is 50% reduction in the wait time. Flash Pass Ultimate is 90% reduction in the wait time. I'm assuming all that means that they would tell you you're ready and you can come back to the ride.
Yeah. And is it like in Disney where you can only get on one like virtual queue at a time? And I wonder,
I think so. I'm not positive, but I think so. I did not do the virtual queue thing. My niece did when we were there, and I didn't bother. I will this year when we go. I'll test it so we can see that. But I'm kind of like, I just wish we go back to the days where you just go up the fucking exit. There's a separate line. They just put you in and that's it. Like, I get that it's harder to do now, I guess, but good God. Like, this shit why's it got to be all so damn complicated? Everything's so complicated, I'm like, it's just confusing. Although I will say that sounds a lot better than last year because if I remember the beginning of last year, there was like 20 of them or something. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. They're offering collectibles this year. I don't know if you guys know that. They've been pushing them pretty hard. One of the collectibles that they're offering is 10 new posters. Okay. They're for all the different parks. So it's Six Flags Fiesta Texas, our park, Great America, Magic Mountain, and Over Texas. They're all retro looking. They look almost Disney-fied. They're pretty badass. Ours has the old Six Flag logo at the bottom. It's a Nitro poster. Each of them basically is for one coaster from those other parks, and they're pretty cool looking. I saw some people last weekend. They were already available, so some people were already buying them and showing them like on what they look like live. They're pretty badass, I have to admit. They also have retro collectible pins. The one for Six Flags is our standard logo. It's the old school logo, exactly like we use for our logo, and it's pretty nice looking. I will actually probably buy one when we go there. It's kind of neat. They're offering T-shirts for different like things, and you can customize them now. So like you can make a spring break T-shirt when you go for like the spring break weekend, and it'll have like it says like spring break, woohoo, Six Flags, and then like you can put your name on it or whatever. Like I would put Scott Blomey, whatever you want, you can put it on there, so,
It tracks.
it tracks. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really think I want my name on a Six Flags shirt when I walk around the park, to be honest with you, but hey, it's cool if they're offering it, I guess. And then
selling any of our podcast shirts there, that would be cool.
I mean, I'm sure that bootleg guy is there. I'm sure he's got to stand out front like every concert when you leave the park.
In the parking lot.
Yeah, those are already pre-printed. They're on end caps of all the merch stores. It's all good. Yeah. Variety of colors.
I love it. The other thing I never knew about, when I was a kid, I collected them for like a day. Like Hot Wheels. Remember Hot Wheels? Matchbox cars, Hot Wheel cars.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels have fucking roller coaster cars out. They have a series. They put out roller coaster cars. One of them is called the Loopster, and they're pretty badass. They're literally, they come like two in a pack, or like some come one, some come two, and they have the coupling, and you can couple them together and make your own little like roller coaster car, which is pretty badass. And then they also put out a different version that's glow in the dark, and they're pretty goddamn cool, man. So
That's cool.
if anyone's into like theme park like stuff collecting, I think that's kind of neat that they have that. So
yeah.
And then jumping into so also I pulled information just so you know on the 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 Savannah Sunset Resort and Spa. I know we talked about a little bit because so anyone that doesn't know this, it opens in June. You could start reserving it now. We have the pricing. We're not going to do that today. Well, since it's not open until June, we'll do that on a podcast before June. Because I actually went and I looked at like Disney's Animal Kingdom and a couple of the other parks that offer similar type of glamping experiences. And I mean, honestly, the pricing's not that far off from any of the other parks that offer similar things. Now, there's also glamping at like national parks, like, Yellowstone and stuff like that. A lot of them offer them too.
I mean,
so
if Six Flags want to throw us a bone and give us a free weekend, so
no shit, right?
Then we can critique it on the.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
That it'd be far for Andy to ride up, but otherwise it'd be cool.
I think if Andy got a $2,000 free glamping experience, he might make it worth the trip up here.
That's it.
Andy, you want
If you guys are going to be there, I'll think about it.
We'll talk about that on another one. We definitely do have the pricing though. Some people are thinking it's kind of crazy and some people think it's kind of normal. I don't know. I'm probably not one to talk because I went to the Star Wars hotel, so we know what the pricing on that was too. So but I will also say it's probably the best theme park experience I've ever had in my entire life. Even though that's not technically considered a theme park, it is. It was a theme park built inside of a hotel, and I don't think I'll ever experience anything better than that. So sometimes I think the price is worth it, and I'm not going to shit on what Great Adventure is doing yet until I can experience it.
I guess it's
So,
like how much
see if it's worth it.
with the animals. That's like the thing.
I don't know, but we'll find out because they're releasing a lot of information, but not everything's released yet. So I figure we still got 2 full months before they're even thinking of opening it. So we have some time. On for some little news pieces. I will say we have to give a shout out to old area trainer, fellow friend of mine, Brian Mix. Unlike most people, when Brian Mix left the park, I didn't even realize this until we became Facebook friends. Brian went into the military, and Brian became a military man, a lifetime military man. I did not realize that. Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, I knew it from his Facebook, but I was like kind of surprised that that's what Brian went and did. And I thought that was really cool. A little while ago, he reached out, and unfortunately, it was during I had to work, so I couldn't join. But he offered any of his friends, if you wanted to, he got promoted to colonel. And yeah, that's pretty goddamn cool. He got promoted to the rank of colonel, and he offered you could watch it via Zoom, his promotion ceremony, which is pretty neat. So just want to give a congrats to Brian because that's pretty goddamn
definitely
cool.
cool.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty badass. I thought that's kind of neat.
Brian was always I remember him as a kid, but yeah, he was a very nice kid.
Well, it's so funny.
Always a hard worker. He was a good guy.
It's like I think of it, and I'm like,
surprised to hear he did so well in the military. Yeah.
Well, so this is what's funny, Andy. Nothing. When I think of Mix, I would never have thought of him in the military. He was not like in my head a military guy. But when I think of how he worked and his work ethic and like just him in general, his demeanor, I'm like, I could see him doing very good in the military, though. Like he had a fantastic work ethic, very personable, very, he could be the typical as a supervisor. You have to be a dick sometimes, and he could turn that dickishness on. But generally, he's a very nice guy, very friendly, but not stupid. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see people getting one over on him. You know what I mean? As a supervisor, so very cool, man. I mean, I was surprised when I saw he was in the military, but I wasn't surprised now knowing that that's his career, that he's excelling. Not at all. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Big news. Not a lot of details though, but obviously and I pulled this from MSN News, but it's been pulled everywhere. Now it's right on right around the 12th. Tuesday the 12th, shareholders for Texas-based Six Flags voted to approve a merger between the company and Ohio Cedar Fair, which owns Carowinds. There were 67.3 million shares represented in voting, and only 195,000 voted against. Wow. 67.3 million versus 195,000. Cedar and only Great Adventure shareholders got to vote. Cedar Fair people weren't allowed to vote. So, whatchamacallit, basically that's very good news. That doesn't mean it's done. Still has to go through all the legal compliance stuff and all that, but pretty close. We're getting pretty close. So that's a good thing. Other news, I sent this to you guys and we read it over and we were like, what the fuck is this? This came out in January. This was released on January 18th. This is Six Flags' original statement. Six Flags launches largest digital alliance in theme park industry. And basically what they're saying is that they announced that Six Flags launched the largest digital alliance in the theme park industry, partnering with Google, HCL Tech, Dell, Snowflake, Fuel, Pure Imagination Studios. The Digital Alliance, a first of its kind in theme park industry, will offer cutting-edge technologies from best-in-class companies to benefit both guests and team members. And then you go on to read it, and it doesn't give any details on what the fuck that means in any way whatsoever. Like, I remember us going, we don't know what this means, and I still kind of don't know what it means. But what it looks like to me is that they basically hired a lot of digital services that look like they have a very tinge on having their pulse on social media, and maybe that's going to help their marketing more than anything else. I was hoping that it would mean there would be more digital stuff in the park and moving them towards more of like a show experience. Like, remember when we used to have like TVs in the queue lines and all that type of stuff, and more, like even like the way that Universal has, if you go into their queue lines, they have monitors that are part of it, like almost like a show, a pre-show in the queue lines, like Batman sort of had stuff. I was hoping maybe that's what it was, but it doesn't look like that's it at all when you look at like the descriptions they give. So I don't know. But anyone that's interested in looking that up, it's apparently a big deal to Six Flags, but I'm not really sure what the hell it means to us as a user.
I mean, I know when you go to Disney, there's the app, and it'll ask you trivia questions, and you got all interactive things throughout the park. Maybe they're doing something like that. I don't know, but whatever, it could be 3 horizontal loops. You never know. You know what I mean? Like, there's always the chance it's 3 horizontal loops.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But when you guys go there, do they have an app similar to Disney that you use like throughout the day there?
The app is so base, it's not even funny. It's so base. Like, yes, they have an app, but the app
can you order food and stuff through it or anything like that?
You can order your passes and stuff in there, but I did not see an option to order food itself in there. Although
the rides are open or closed,
it,
right?
yeah, I think it does do that.
Like
But
wait times and stuff.
exactly. But like when I go in there, it doesn't really do much but show me my pass and my benefits. It doesn't really do much else in there. So I don't know. I'm definitely this year going to take more of an effort in utilizing their tech though. And like even last year, like I didn't utilize any of my fast. Like I get 4 free passes, like skip the line passes. I didn't even utilize them this year. I'm paying attention and utilizing all that shit. So I'll let you know on future podcasts. They did also announce, just in case anyone. It's funny. We always say like we're aged out. We can't go back. Like we have friends that went back there. Oh, Brian Queenan says, whatchamacallit? He says you can order food now. So that's kind of interesting.
That's good. I mean, at Disney and Universal, that's a game changer. Like you could save 20, 30 minutes by just walking up.
Yeah, absolutely. But he also says it's not that accurate, but you can order food.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not going to try that. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
That seems right. Thanks, Brian.
What's the inaccuracy? Do you get different food than you ordered, or does it go?
I don't know. I'm not even going to go down to that detail. I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, that doesn't surprise me, that feedback. So we'll leave it at that.
You order veggie chili, you end up with a rack of ribs.
Exactly. I might take a trade up, though, you know?
You're a vegetarian.
Yeah, for me, I'd be screwed.
Exactly. For you, it would be bad.
So you know, we always joke around, we're aged out. You know, we had some friends in the past that tried to go back to the park and, you know, found that it's very hard at our age to catch cable cars and shit like that. But if you're a part-time fire person, they are hiring for the fire department. So they put up an ad. They're doing part-time employment opportunities they need a safety coordinator. It looks like they also need some other part-time staff for 2024. So anyone that's part of a fire department, if you're looking at expanding, Six Flags, they're also looking to hire. At least they were a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if they still are.
I bet that's an awesome job.
Yeah, I gotta think that's probably pretty cool, to be honest with you.
I told my wife.
I mean, they're not fighting many
EMT.
fires there. They do mostly safety checks, I think, and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I said, see if they have EMT. That would be great.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
This is just, I got to throw this out there because we did our last podcast middle of December. We decided to hold until the park opened, basically, because there's really not much information going on. Like the first quarter of any year is a glut of just rampant information that you don't even know is rumors or not about everything, the theme park industry in general, except for the parks that are open year round, you know? But somebody posted on New Year's Eve to the one Facebook group that I'm part of, Great Adventure Connoisseurs, and it kind of broke my heart, man. It was like 2 hours before they're closing, and the picture is literally like, you know, taken right as you go inside, and it's of the fountain, and it's gorgeous at Christmas time. I mean, it's really, they really did a good job last year, and they generally always do now, and it's beautiful. But the picture she took, there's like 5 people standing near the tree, and she posted, "This is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Last year, there were hundreds and hundreds of people around this tree to celebrate New Year's with the fireworks. And this year, there is nobody here. It is absolutely empty. Good for me, though." And I'm like, it is depressing, kind of sad looking, you know? I'm like, wow, that's a little sad.
I wonder why such a change from the year before. That's crazy.
I was trying to think what happened last year. Maybe the cold. It was definitely cold at New Year's. I remember that. I'm not sure, man, but it is kind of weird. Hey, Lise, my girlfriend's saying hi, so I'm saying hi back, so I don't get yelled at. So there you go. All right, let us before we jump into the whatchamacallit, the next stuff, which is going to be going over opening day and talking about a website. Let's just knock this out. Let's go over our entertainment game and knock it out real quick. Yeah, Andy, you go first.
Awesome.
Not cool.
All right.
Scott hates when I make him go last.
Wait, we're doing this now? All right.
Yeah,
Doing it now. Yeah, knock it out real fast.
Before anyone else goes.
No
My
shit.
first one is Crazy Fun Park, which is an Australian show streaming on Hulu starring Henry Strand. And here's the synopsis. When his best friend, Mapplethorpe, dies suddenly in an abandoned park, Chester discovers that his friend now lives with other children in the park, leading them to reestablish their friendship as they go through a difficult adolescence.
That's a
It
series?
looks like, yeah, it's a series started last year. It looks like a cross between like Lost Boys and Adventureland.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
No shit.
Got add that to my queue.
What was it again, Andy?
Crazy Fun
Hang
Park.
on, let me show you guys my new
Crazy
chippy.
Fun Park. I gotta write that shit down.
Here's my new
Oh,
puppy.
look at that cutie.
Nice.
For those listening on audio, Andy got a new puppy, and it's
Oh,
His name is Chip.
it's so damn
He's
cute.
4 months old and he's gigantic.
I used to say he's so big.
Yeah. A big boy for 4 months. Good Lord.
Yeah, he's so cute.
What's his name?
Chip.
Chip. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, mine are sitting outside the door because if I let him in, they would just be all over us. So
Oh, he just burst in. He just burst in.
That's great.
All right, and here's my other show. I don't think we did it on the list. It's called Thrill Factor, which is it's like a Mythbusters spinoff. It stars Tori Belici and Carrie Byron, the two people from Mythbusters, and they basically go through like the science and physics and everything of all different amusement park rides.
nice.
That sounded pretty cool. I've never seen it. It's on Discovery Plus.
I have not even heard of about that either. So
But that one says from 2015. There was only one season, so there's 11 episodes out there if you pay for Discovery Plus, which I do not.
there you go.
Nice.
Sweet. All right. I can't do it. Go ahead, Scott.
Nice.
Sorry, Scott's gonna cry if I skip him again.
First one I got was I dug way back, considering it's Great Adventures 50th anniversary. 1961, Flintstones, season 1, episode 15. Fred goes to an amusement park and he records a record in one of those old school like recording studios that then goes like viral and on the played all over the place on the radio stations.
Nice.
So basically, their version of a studio, like we had.
But it was
I don't remember that one. How's the song go?
I have no idea.
I thought you were gonna sing it, man.
Points taken away. Points taken away.
I bet we can find it. And the other one was the Chernobyl Diaries. Like it was like a horror movie where they basically are on a tour of like the exclusion zone after the nuclear accident and
Yeah.
a bunch of mutants. But it shows what the hell was the name of the actual amusement park that was supposed to open a few days after the accident happened and never did. Although it's rumored to have opened briefly the day after to distract the residents of the disaster. But hold on, I have it here. Pripyat Amusement Park. So it was going to open May 1st, and the disaster happened like April 26th. So yeah, never officially opened, but that was in the movie.
Nice.
Nice.
Right. Peluso.
Cool. I don't think we did this one yet. A newer one, A Murder on the Other Side of the World.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
It is our park.
Backup for me. It was a backup. I was like, I knew if I didn't do it today, I was like, someone's gonna do this one.
Dude, I watched it a while ago, and I've been saving it. I think I watched it around the holidays, and I'm like just watching it. No idea they're going to a theme park in episode 6, and I'm like, that's Six Flags. This is in Iceland, because it obviously takes place in Iceland. If you're watching the show, but a lot of it shot around New Jersey. I after looking it up, which there's not a lot of info on, the whole Six Flags shoot and everything. But like you'll know it right if you know Six Flags. You'll know it right away when they arrive. There's parking lot shots of all the coasters and everything. Very cool stuff. And not a bad show. Not a bad show. Hulu, also Disney Plus if you have the Hulu package. And then I don't think we did it yet. I'm going back, not as far back as Scotty, but the Karate Kid golfing stuff. I don't think we've done that. Yeah, man. I mean, that's a real place in Norwalk, California. And they have a couple of them. I think there's one in Arizona and Ventura too. You got the what? They got the bumper boats. You got the bouncy house, you got go-karts, you got golf, of course.
Wait,
you got Ralph Macchio.
The whole time he's there trying to get Allie back, as Andy said, a song was playing. What song, Peluso? Come on, sing it, Peluso. Come on, Peluso.
Oh, man, you know what? For some reason, I guess because it was on in the car, Cruel Summer, and it's not Cruel Summer. I can hear it. It's like real corny. I just know all of you, they hit the ground and they hug and they kiss. I can't remember the name of the song now.
I think it's called Young Hearts. It's that one. It's like Young Hearts Beat Fast.
Yeah. No, I just know I can see them like in the bouncy castle. They fall. It's all corny and cheesy and cute. Yeah. No, I'll act it out. Hold on. Let me go get my trampoline.
I love it.
And then, it shows up again, but we'll save that for another one.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm gonna burn one. Technically, I'm not counting it on any of us, but I'm gonna burn it. When I had pointed out Westworld and Westworld the series, I had said, okay, so that kills Westworld. Kind of like when you had pointed out Jurassic Park 1, we put a veto on. You can't say Jurassic Park 2, 3, or 4. It's all Jurassic Park is done now. That's it, right? So that also means Future World is also done because that's the original sequel to Westworld in the old movies, the original movies. Right. So that's done. So nobody can use Future World. I'm just going to add it, tag it to Westworld because that's a cheat. Okay.
Right.
But Scott was bitching a little bit that like, I can't find one. These are very hard. It's getting harder. So
just like that.
Just to prove that it's not, I'm going to burn 9 in one shot off of one of Andy's. So, Andy, you brought up the park, okay? And the park was one that was filmed in Jazzland, which was the, ruined New Orleans Six Flags Park, right? But you could have went a little deeper because they use that regularly for films now. It's not just the park. They've done a bunch of them there. So, Jurassic World, 2015, okay?
That was already burned.
It's burned, but we didn't talk about that one. But that one was actually filmed there, okay? The fictional Dino Park was all filmed there. So even though they don't feature any of the park itself, they actually built a whole park in the parking lot because apparently for that park, their parking lot's so extensive, that's usually what they use as a lot of studio thing. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 2014, okay? The Ape Village created in the parking lot of the Six Flags New Orleans. So Deepwater Horizon, a 2016 movie. That one, okay, that one's crazy because that one, they built a 70-foot oil rig with functioning helipad and 2 million gallon water tank there. So that's pretty cool. That was all filmed there. Killer Joe, that film with Matthew McConaughey, okay, that's 2011. That was absolutely filled there. And that one is the one that allowed them to go into the park and started allowing people, other productions to film in the park, apparently. So in there, they have the Mega Zeph roller coaster, and they're on that roller coaster talking about committing the murder. So that's one of them. There's 2 other movies that basically are sci-fi, real low-budget sci-fi. They're very much like The Park, the one that you brought up, Andy, that's on Tubi, called Project Power from 2020 and Synchronic from 2020. They have very quick scenes that they filmed inside that park to be reminiscent of another park. There's a movie called Reminiscence from 2021. That was a Hugh Jackman sci-fi movie. That one was absolutely filled on their midway area. Has rides in there like the Ferris wheel and Zydeco Zinger and all that. That was there. The Nicolas Cage movie from 2013 called Stolen. That was actually filmed there as well. Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters from 2013. That was filmed for the Mega Zeph roller coaster as well. Andy's The Park from 2023 was filmed there. That's number 30 on our list. And then there's a really good documentary out called Closed for Storm. Came out in 2020. And that's all about the entire history of that park and how it got closed down because of Katrina and all that type of stuff. So that was filmed there as well. All of those are filmed. I read a whole article where they were all filmed basically using that one park, which makes me think that there's probably a bunch of other movies in other abandoned parks that you could easily find if you put a little effort in. Yeah. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
So, But Andy, if it wasn't for you bringing up the park, I would never have looked it up and realized, holy shit, there's a bunch of movies filmed at that place. Like that place is like a filming ground now. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a movie studio now, apparently.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, hey, at least hopefully maybe New Orleans is making money off of it. You know what I mean? Because I don't think it's Six Flags owned anymore. I'm not sure how that works now. So, all right, moving on. We've touted how much we like and how much people should visit if they like Great Adventure. The greatadventurehistory.com website, all one word, Great Adventure History, all is one word.com. So last month, a whole bunch of hoo-ha happened because we found out that Harry Applegate, who's one of the two people that runs it along with Tom Benton, passed away. So a lot of confusion though, because we initially thought it was the Harry Applegate that we worked with at the park, but it turns out there absolutely are, and I cannot believe this, two Harry Applegates that both worked at the park, both during the same time frame, and one is the one that we know, and one is the one that I actually never met. I did not know.
Who would have thought?
Right.
Who the fuck would have thought, right? So,
I mean, well, not even just that though, but a big enthusiast, so much so to have like something, you know what I mean? Like it's
absolutely
not that uncommon a name, but
absolutely,
wow, that's the major coincidence.
I know. But I will say, I also felt like a freaking idiot afterwards because we should have realized. So here's the thing. Our friend that was Harry Applegate transition and is Carrie Applegate.
And I remember I said that. I was like, I don't know why they're saying Harry.
It should have clicked that nobody would have un-PC'ly said the old name, and it did not click. So I had posted it. I will say, though, on one hand, very few people get to see how many people loved them when they were alive, and Carrie Applegate is well-loved. We all enjoyed working with Carrie. Carrie was, base Harry at the time. Now it would be base Carrie, and is just an awesome, awesome human being. And it warmed my heart that when we thought it was our friend, a lot of people were like just devastated. And I think that's really cool because that's how it should be. I mean, Carrie meant a lot to us and does mean a lot to us. So, very happy Carrie's still with us. I will say, I did. In my confusion, I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? So I did reach out because I absolutely forgot that we were actually Facebook friends. So I reached out to Carrie and I was like, we just had a heart attack thinking you passed away. I hope all is well. And she wrote me back, still kicking.
Exactly. It was such textbook. It was so great.
I loved it.
It was probably like, oh.
Absolutely. I could see Carrie's face saying it, laughing.
She lives in Florida now, right?
Yeah, she lives in Florida. And a little while later, she did post, I just want to inform everyone that I never met Harry Applegate from Monmouth County. I'm sure we're related in some way. I heard he passed away. I know he was a big Six Flags Great Adventure enthusiast. I'm not sure if he worked there or not. He did. I worked for Six Flags for 19 years. I retired in 2006 from the ops department. I moved to Florida in 2015, lost the love of my life in 2018, lost my dad, Harry, in 2021. However, I'm still alive, LOL, still here in Winter Haven, Florida, and love you all. So Carrie's still with us, which is fantastic. However, I do not want to downplay that even though all of us at this podcast, never met the Harry Applegate that did pass away, the Harry Applegate that did pass away was one of the two people that was running that Great Adventure History website. And so Tom is, the other person. And so I'm assuming Tom sent this out, but they put out, a notice saying, it's with a heavy heart that, the co-founder and his friend Harry Applegate passed away. It was a very nicely written message. And what I absolutely loved, were just like when people thought it was our Carrie, people that absolutely knew who it was off of his post, okay? There was so much love posted, and so many people said how great that Harry guy was that I was really bummed I never met the guy. Because that guy clearly had a love. And, a lot of people said that. So I am not a forum guy. I never went on the forums for that. I love their page. Love it. It has so much stuff that even now I'll go on there to research something and be like, I never knew this. I find stuff I never knew. It's so much depth on that webpage, that greatadventurehistory.com webpage. But I didn't realize how much he interacted on the forums because I never go on their forums. I don't do forum stuff. I feel like Facebook's the most I'm ever going to do. That's a forum to me, and that's enough. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not into sitting on social media because too many, anonymous people can post and be dicks. So I don't want to deal with it. But
Right.
a lot of love given out. And the two that I thought were the coolest, really, really the coolest, is that Six Flags Fire Department actually put a post underneath there and said, Harry's work has helped us learn our own history, something we're very grateful for. Both of you have created something many employees across the park very much enjoyed. We're so sorry for your loss. May you rest in peace. And I was like, that's so fucking cool that the fire department said that and recognized it. And then to make it even cooler, Six Flags Great Adventure's own social media site actually threw out a whole post about it. And they put, last week, Six Flags Great Adventure lost a remarkable individual, Harry Applegate of Great Adventure history, whose passion for our park knew no bounds. Harry's unwavering commitment to Great Adventure's history spans multiple books and a website that celebrates and preserves the rich history and unforgettable milestones that we've seen over the last 50 years. Though we will be missing one of our biggest fans as we head into our anniversary season, he will forever be a part of the vibrant history that defines our park. Thank you, Harry, for being a true champion of Great Adventure and for being a resource and a friend to us all. That's so fucking cool that Great Adventure acknowledged him and put that out there. Tom put a follow-up on it too, where he was like, I'm really, really happy to see that, they acknowledged him. I just think that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's so freaking cool. One of the things I will mention is that Tom did put out, Harry basically ran the site for the most part. It appears like he ran the running of it, like the servers and all that. So the website is staying, and it's on his. It's on the hosting is fine. It's on his hosting, but the forum and the gallery hosting were different. And at one point he was like, I don't know what's going to happen with them. They're going to close because I don't have access to everything of them, and And, a lot of fans did write out like, hey, like I love this site and I love everything about it. And I'm an active user. Set up a GoFundMe. And Tom did say, I appreciate it, but Harry was against monetizing the site. So, I'm just hoping I can move the bulk of it to my current website and host it there. We'll see what happens, blah, blah, blah. But we don't want to monetize. I totally get that because I'm against it too. I don't do it for us. Everything we do on this site comes out of my pocket. Everything for this podcast comes out of my pocket because I don't want to monetize. We have options. We've actually been offered to be able to put ads up here, but I can't believe people even want to hear us jabber about the park 26 episodes. Why would the hell would I want them to have to listen to an ad? I'm never doing that. That's not part of me. However, happy to announce that through his history site, he put a special announcement out a little while ago and said, with the phasing out of the greatadventurehistory.com forums, we partner with parkfans.net to offer a new home for the ongoing discussions of Six Flags Great Adventures, past, present, and future. We hope all of our dedicated fans will follow along. If you go to greatadventurehistory.com site, you'll see that post. You'll also be able to, or if you go to the Facebook, you'll absolutely see it on their Facebook page. And it has the link right to their thread site. So through that whatchamacallit, that parkfans.net site, the forums will live on. So anyone that loved the site, that's where you can keep on having active conversations. One of the things he's been doing that's really cool is through their Facebook page, they've been Tom's been sending out a lot of basically spotlight emails on particular things, and a lot of them tie into the 50th anniversary celebration. So one of the first ones we put out was a look back at the big wheel. And it was originally called the Giant Wheel. Then it got changed to the Big Wheel. But what he does is when he sends these posts out, he gives you a little history of it. So on this one, they're very quick. But on this one, it's at the time, it was the tallest in the world, 150 feet, served as the centerpiece of the Holland Tulip Festival before making its way across the Atlantic, Great Adventure. And it has the designer's name, all that. These are really cool. If you're into Great Adventure history, or you want to hear about the stuff that's being refurbished and what it was like in the original, I would definitely say go check out some of these posts.
It's great photos.
The photos are
right.
fucking
That's why I like
amazing.
them.
Yeah, they blow my mind
away.
away.
Emails, and it's cool to see a lot of the really old photos. Originally, when you see the original rides, and then you see the original park construction, it's pretty cool. I don't even know where he got all these to begin with, but he has an extensive collection of photos. Yeah,
and the park construction is a big deal because, I know that Harry and Tom work with Six Flags, so they were able to get Six Flags to give them a lot of access to a lot of the photos, which is where I think they got them. But they absolutely, I cannot state that. I can't follow up what Andy just said enough. Like the construction photos of half of the rides in the park and all the stuff, even the stuff that's not there anymore, like the arena, like the Great Arena, like the Dolphin Stadium. They have all of the construction site when it was being built, how it was being built, so much detail into it. It's amazing. If you're ever interested in that stuff, they have everything on that site. It's really cool. I love these spotlight ones. I keep learning stuff that I didn't even know about them. You know, they sent out one about Ride-A-Rama. And I was like, what the fuck is Ride-A-Rama Kids Area? I have no idea what this is. And it was like something that was only there through the 1975 season. But like you say, Andy, he has all the photos up and everything with it. And they're just so freaking cool, man. And it's like, again, it's stuff I never heard of. I didn't even know about this. And I'm like, you know, I like to consider myself someone that's pretty knowledgeable about the park. But then I look at this and I go, I don't know shit compared to what these guys know. Like all this, you know, like I know nothing. He put one of the other ones he put up there was opening day attraction was the antique cars. And I'm looking at the photos. I'm like, I want to fucking ride on one of these. They had those old school antique cars. Like
I actually remember that.
I don't remember it at all. I'm looking at this. And I'm like, it's insanely cool. And it went through the cars would drive through a wooded path with giant inflatable animals. I'm like, what? And I'm looking at the inflatables and I'm like, they're like elephant-sized inflatable animals.
Does
I'm
it give
like,
a year that it was there in operation, that thing?
yeah. So this gentle ride was slow and quiet, was located approximately where the current Main Street is. It lasted, again, only through the end of 1975. Was supposed to be relocated to the area under the log flume. Never was. And they have a whole spotlight on it. But like, even look at those photos. It's cool as shit.
So isn't that right near where they have that like Houdini thing now? It's kind of between. It's on like as you're walking towards the carousel. It was somewhere over there because there used to be the remnants of it there when we would do stuff in that backfield for work crew, like the track. Because it was like one of those things like a the Disney Autotopia. It was like one of those things where you drove the car and it had like the track down the middle, you know, so you couldn't go off the path.
Right.
I remember that little track was still there for years when we would do work crew stuff back there. And I was near where they had the whole miniature land set up and the miniature golf course was all in that same general area. It was all gone when we worked there, but there were still kind of like remnants of that stuff.
Gotcha. It's funny because I'm sure I saw it because I know we went like when I was a kid, but like my memory from 75, I was born in 69, not the greatest. I mean,
remember that big concrete bunker that was behind the game store where we would use for game storage and everything, and there were old like electronics things in there. That used to be where the miniature thing was built kind of like right in front of that. And that was where all the controls and everything for all the lights and stuff were all in that little bunker.
Wow.
Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, like I said, the reason I decided to do this podcast with you guys is because my memory is getting worse and worse. Yeah. But my memory of things like up until I was 10 are like gone. Like it's you know, and I don't have like, you know, I don't have like horrible memory right now, but like early year memory really gone. So I don't remember any of that stuff. Like anything from our first visit to the park, I barely remember. Honestly, the first visit to the park that I truly remember in detail was the day Elvis died because we were at the park when it got announced. That I only remember because the park went into an uproar. Like people were crying and left and right, and I didn't get it. It didn't make any sense to me as a kid. Right. That's literally one of my earliest memories.
They closed early?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Another one that they just put out that I thought was really cool is it's on the traffic jam, so the bumper car ride. But what's so badass is that one of the pictures, if you look at it, you're like, is that who I think it is? And sure enough, it's fucking Jerry Lewis, who is filming a commercial at Great Adventure riding the bumper cars.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Like, so freaking cool, man. So that one I loved. And speaking of that, so shopping at one of those like cheesy sort of dollar type stores, and I think it's called Big Lots. It's right near the Freehold Mall. And in there, they have, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on here, but they have, you could buy a fucking bumper car that for kids, it holds up to 45 pounds of weight. So it's totally kids. You can't get an adult in these things, right? But it is a legitimate bumper car, and they dropped it down to $70. So if you are willing to drop, $280, you can have 4 bumper cars, make your own bumper car in your house, and have your kids just bumper car in at home. I'm like, what the fuck? I want a bumper car. I was so jealous when I saw this. I was like, I want the bumper car. So anyone that has a kid right now, if you want to have some fun, and I'd say not in your house, but maybe if you have a barn or something like that, or an outdoor patio.
You gotta have that like electric mesh above.
Yeah, that's the thing you do. It just charges.
I want to walk into your house, man, and just all of a sudden sparks start flying.
Come on, that was always the best thing in work crew.
You come driving on in. So good.
Remember work crew was right about this time of year too. It'd be like you got to get all the rust off the bumper car thing, and that was it. It'd be like you all got to go over there and just ride the bumper cars.
Yep. That was fun though. That was one of the funner work crew times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They put out about the Sky Ride. He put one out on a Sky Ride, which is on purpose because the Sky Ride is still on. So the rumor last year is it was going away, and that was it. However, it is on the list of 2020. It's on the map for this year. The things that are going away, like Parachuter's Perch, they're off the map. They're gone. So the Sky Ride is still on there, and supposedly it is absolutely still reopening. So I was kind of happy to see that. He put one up about the log flume. Log flume is, as of last weekend, it's not open yet. I think I might have when it's supposed to be opening, but it's not for a while. The coolest thing about it, though, is it is worth looking up people's photos from last weekend. They actually pulled out the trough too. They're redoing the whole thing. So all that's there are like, Andy, those little like just the structure struts that hold the trough in. That's all it's there. It's like the centerpiecing beam and those, no trough. And it's like kind of cool because I'm excited because I'm like, it really does look like they're doing a full rehaul on the damn log flume. And I'm like, that's pretty badass. So I think it just says opening later this year. I don't think it has a date on it yet. I know a lot of them would say like June and everything.
Too cold now anyway, yeah.
Yeah. But
there'll finally be no more leaks in the trough.
That's what it looks like. It looks like they're redoing the fiberglass on everything.
Don't hold your breath though.
I know.
How, Steve, are you going to buy a piece of the old trough?
If they sold it, I would
get some fiberglass.
I absolutely would. That's not a joke. I totally would, man.
You could set it up in your yard with a little chair next to it.
Like a little flume.
Right, with a little umbrella above your head and just sit there. You could just pretend. You're getting older. You probably won't realize someday soon. You just think you're just sitting up and shoot.
Yeah,
true. I mean, you give me another 10 years and I won't know the difference anyway. So the way my memory is, I'll be up there splashing my neighbors as they go by.
Run the garden hose through it.
I will say though, that made me look at one of my other the other sites. There's another site called Amusement Park Portal on Facebook that is run by David Chapman. And he put a picture, he does spotlights on rides all the time. He does one pretty much every single day. And it could be from any ride from anywhere in the world, any park. Like, it's random. So sometimes it's Six Flags, sometimes Universal, sometimes it's a park I've never even heard of, He put up one almost right around the same time that the history site put that log flume retrospective one up. And it says, I am not going to be able to pronounce this right, El Aserrado. It's a log flume at Six Flags over Texas that they still have. He claims it's the first log flume ride ever built, opened in 1963, still there. And during the holiday season, because you guys don't obviously have like our true like winter like we do, during the Halloween season, they dye the entire thing red. So it's a bloody freaking bloody log flume. I'm so jealous.
So yeah, that was one of Six Flags' big claim to fame, that they had the first log flume ride, and it was Six Flags over Texas.
That's the
I've
one.
never been there, but remember Dorney Park used to have a really cool old log flume ride too. I remember you still had the big lever for the brake.
Yep.
Wow.
I gotta say the one near you though, the one in Texas, the one at Six Flags over Texas, it's gorgeous. The pictures he put, I'm like, wow, it's really nice looking. I really love to ride
for
this
the
ride.
50th anniversary, they're building a new one there. In that commercial we had at the beginning, said it's going to be the longest log flume.
I saw that. I'm glad you picked up on that because I actually had it in my notes and I don't know where it is. And I would have probably forgot. So I'm glad you said that. I saw that. It's coupled with that, it made me even more excited where I'm like, I got to go to that park.
Yeah.
I got to pay. I got a diamond pass. I can go. Let's see. The last one I'll put up that he noted is he also noted about basically the West in general. And that's a good one to segue over into opening day weekend stuff and what the park said is going to be changed because he mentions Best of the West. And I'm a little bummed that we never went in that VIP lounge because Best of the West is Best of the West again. It's reopening. It's no longer a VIP lounge. It will reopen and it will be called, let's see, it's Best of the West Grill and Saloon. And it will be open this year. Right now, not open yet. They're refurbishing it as well. Almost everything in the western side is fully closed down at this point. So that's not there. Great Adventure noted that the enhancements that they are guaranteeing are coming out are the Dream Street Pathway we already talked about. Right now, it's done with red bricks. They're going to be putting the other bricks in there. Their retail remodels and re-themes. And what that is Main Street Market and Thrill Seeker shops are going to get upgrades. And Fright Fest Fanatics and Holiday Memories are two of their seasonal shops. They're going to be open all year. So if you like the seasonal stuff, you can buy it all year. Restaurant upgrades. Best of the West Grill and Saloon is going to reopen. Main Street Pub, Kickin' Chicken Sports Bar, Funnel Cake Factory, and Yum Yum Cafe are all going to be completely refurbished, new looks, upgraded interiors.
I never heard the Kickin' Chicken Sports Bar. Where's that?
I think that's a new one.
Okay.
They're offering new signature beverage and food options. Premier and signature cocktails will be available across the park, which they've been doing anyway for the seasonal stuff, and now they're going to do it regularly. 3 roller coaster coffee locations. I'm kind of disappointed that it's only Starbucks Day Brew because I'm not really a Starbucks fan, but I like the fact that there's now 3 permanent coffee shops in the park, which is something I always was annoyed that they didn't have because that's one of the few things I drink all the time is freaking coffee. I still do, Right. So that's going to happen there. They're updating. Sweet Treats is what used to be Sweet Cakes near the front gate. They're going to have new options like crepes and gelato, and they're expanding their gluten-free options at Primo's Pizza. Speedy parking is being, upgraded to allow for all the pass users.
Speedier parking.
To speedier parking. And let's see, what else he's saying here. And this is directly from the park. Obviously, the Flash Vertical Velocity will open.
Where is that going in at?
I forget. I didn't know where it was.
I don't remember hearing exactly where they're putting that in.
I don't remember.
Did they take anything down to build this?
I don't think so. I saw them put the building site up, and I forget where the hell it was. So I'm just blanking on that. Hurricane Harbor opens on May 18th. They have a bunch of new updates they're doing there. I'm not even going to bring them up because honestly, I've never been in Hurricane Harbor. I've never gone to the water park ever. No. So I've only done our water park when we were there. I've never ever done it.
We'll have to hit.
It says behind Cyborg. So there you go.
The Flash looks like it's sandwiched or like kind of behind Roaring Rapids and Batman. So probably that back area that we used to walk through.
Yeah, I can't believe we've never been to Hurricane Harbor. But I have to go this year. You can bring your banana hammock to get in, squeeze into, and it'd be all good.
No. I don't see that happening. Let's be honest. I wouldn't go in any of the water when I was a supervisor there. Why would I go in any of the water out of being a supervisor there?
It's not as nasty as the water in the rapids.
Sure. You keep telling yourself that. Moving on. Not even listening to that talk. They're having a lot of their typical, their event schedule is going to be spring break is March 28th, April 7th. They're going to be open that whole time. That whole week. 50th anniversary celebration will happen Memorial Day through Labor Day. All different things will be happening. They'll have Pride Night this year. They'll have July 4th fireworks again. They'll have an Oktoberfest again. They'll have a Boo Fest again. They'll have Fright Fest again, Veterans Weekend again, Holiday in the Park again. All that stuff specifically said from Great Adventure that they're going to have. Parachuter's Perch is officially going to be gone. I don't know if they're going to take the tower away. I think it's still there as of right now.
It hasn't been running for years.
It has been running for a couple of years. I think last year, I don't know if they ever reopened it after COVID, to be honest with you, but it definitely wasn't open last year. The one thing that kind of does bum me out is that if you look at their sign for it, you know how they have the nice signs that they put up in front of each of the park. They get the plaques that give a little bit of history. It does say designed specifically for Six Flags is the tallest of its type in the world, and that is the last of its type in the world was our parachuter. So when that's gone, there's no other parachuters perched like that. Although I will say, while there's no parachuters perched like that, our fucking Flying Wave and about 40 other parks Flying Waves look exactly like it,
They're
but with
higher
swings.
and they swing around.
And they have swings now. So I kind of feel like there's still rides out there that replace it. But two people, okay, Michael Olivencia and Matt Kaiser on Great Adventure Connoisseur's site both gave really good rundowns of the park, okay, of the opening weekend from last weekend. Pretty much everyone agrees that running one train on all the rides and offering double like rides was a really stupid idea. A lot of people are really pissed about it. Some people say the rides weren't that bad, the lines weren't that bad, but a lot of people are like, no, it was bullshit. So there's a little bit of a mixed feeling about that. However, they did show that the big wheel renovation is under way, and right now there's nothing. The big wheel is just the frame. There's no cars, there's no wheels, there's everything is off of it. It's just the frame. It looks like it's all repainted white, and they're about to do that.
I wonder if they're going to have all the cars back on when they reopen that.
I don't think they will. I think it's going to be like it was before, where it's going to be less cars, because I don't think that, and I'm just being blunt, we saw that they did not have as many cars as normal last year, and I think that's because I don't think that they can handle unbalancing like we did.
Well,
and so I think that's what it is.
And it's so much easier to park the wheel like when you're on loading and unloading, because you have like that one car is not there. You can
absolutely you don't have to worry about the top car. Absolutely. I have a feeling
the problem with this generation, damn it. They can freaking park the thing and get all 6 cars in the station.
It's true.
Time.
I mean, I'm surprised by now, especially if they're redoing the whole thing. They haven't come up with any way to computerize that and automate it where the wheel just stops at the point you need to.
Yes, strong enough to just hold it in place regardless of, somewhat unbalanced or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's the whole physics thing. Like, you can't push something that's so much heavier up with those Volkswagen electric engines.
Right, but it can tell based on the motors, like if it's drawing more current, that it's hard to spin in that direction. That this section needs to reduce weight or add weight to another area.
You put a bunch of fat people into like one section and you try to send them up. I mean, that's it right there. You're done. So I mean, I've been there. I've worked, and I was the one person to figure out how to run it backwards without a supervisor's key. So I was like, I'd run it forward and backward like by myself without a key. So.
Nice.
Anybody who's working
that on your resume?
I didn't say anything because he's brought it up about 50 times. So he's very proud of this, by the way.
It was like a computer.
The one thing I will say, it is possible though that they're doing a computer upgrade and maybe trying to do some type of like automation, because they have done it in the past. Log Flume. When we still worked there, they brought in, remember Hero and what's his name? And they did the whole panel reconstruction, and they put the sensors in for where the boats were going to be and all that. So they have invested in technology on programming of the rides in the past.
Yeah, well, that ride was built in like the 30s or 40s. I'm sure that there's better technology now.
That's what I meant.
LED lights. I don't know if it's still real lights. LED lights cost like nothing. They last long, So
well,
they'll be able to do a lot of cool light shows and stuff on it.
I think that's a definite though, because if I remember right, when I was reading, they were still using the light bulbs from originally Germany. They had to pay it was like a ridiculous, like $100 a bulb, and they had to replace it or some bullshit like that. Like, and I don't know if that was an online rumor or not, but it sounded like it was pretty accurate.
They do go out. I mean, even without looking, they go out a lot. They're expensive. But
they were constantly hard to get. Going LED, and on top of that, for holidays, having the big wheel show, other big wheels have pictures. They make it into a show.
So the one thing you can't fix the unbalancing though without like weighing the guests before they get on, and that never goes over well. I mean,
there is. You just put the sign up and says no fatties. That's it. That's all there is, man.
I've been at theme parks where they are weighing people like.
Hey, I can make that joke, Peluso. I'm a fatty. I wouldn't be allowed on, so fuck you. All right? That's self-deprecating, man. I'm allowed to do that.
So what? I won't ride the big wheel. It's called the big wheel. It should take big people.
That's right. God damn it. All right, moving on. Enough of you and your big wheel talk. This is pretty cool. Near the front gate, and I'm not sure which building this is, but I'll be honest with you, it looks like the one merch stand. They now have Looney Tunes characters as a dedicated meet and greet location, and it has a posted schedule that shows each hour which characters will be there. That is amazing because I can tell you right now, we have bitched that in the last few years, whenever we go, we don't even see them.
Yeah.
We don't ever even fucking see them. Like, I see a couple guys on stilts and stuff once in a while. Otherwise,
occasionally you'll see one at the fountain.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's about it. So I think it's really cool. And even check it out. It's kind of neat, right?
That is good. I mean, Sesame Place has been doing that forever.
It's got like a little charty thing where it's got the time and then the picture of the characters, and so they can rotate them out and shit, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, no, Disney similar. They've been doing that for a while now. Even before the pandemic, they've been doing that. You used to be able to just run into them.
We know everybody else does everything better already, Peluso, okay? But
to be honest, I don't think it's better. I used to like where you would just kind of run into them. You know what I mean? But now they became so popular. You had to have lines, it was a whole thing. So now it's, you get online to go and see them,
Well, I think the problem is
fast pass to go see them.
I think the problem is nobody was running into them, Chris.
It could be that. Maybe they weren't. Well, no, I think it was just a crude, unruly line was forming rather than an organized line.
True.
They had to organize it.
I love it. Well, I think that's cool, though. I like that they're doing it. I like that there's a spot where if you have kids, you can absolutely make sure that they get to see the characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Carousel, gorgeous. Fully repainted. Looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. The picture of Dream Street with the bricks in there is really cool. Yeah. It is wide as fuck. So they can put a lot of the bricks in there because there's a lot of red bricks in there right now. But it looks nice. And to be honest with you, the older I get, the less I like crowds. So the more I like open spaces where the crowds can not be up each other's ass. So looking at how big that walkway is between the four tents, I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like it.
For that, Steve is very crotchety these days.
I am really an old man. It is very true. I do not like it. So one of the new roller coaster coffee locations is by El Toro's Turnaround, formerly known as the Funnel Cake Factory, formerly known as Kingdom Gyro. We all know what one I'm talking about. It was a taco stand once too, a Casa de Taco, whatever that was.
Wait, La Cantina? I had gyros in there.
Casa de Taco.
Yes, that's what I think it is. That's what it looks like, because I'm pretty sure that was the Kingdom Gyro, right? I think that was Kingdom Gyro the last couple of years.
Yeah, man.
My Kingdom Ka.
Yeah. Frontier Adventures is blocked off right now because Log Flume's being refurbished. Runaway Mine Train is just has a sign up saying scheduled to open in spring. I don't think they're refurbishing it away at all.
Damn shame, because we all know the Western section was the best ever. So why are they closing that off? What the F? Because
it's the original section that people love so much. It's still there. Unlike all the shit that you worked on that's no longer there. And they're now refurbishing it. They're refurbishing it so people will still enjoy it. Unlike you, Fantasy Forest guy. Okay.
It's got the new rides in our section, but it's on our side.
Hey, Peluso, how's that fog machine in the Batman Q line working? Oh, yeah. I guess it's
they wanted to stop that training class. That's what it was. It was the training class.
Andy, I think we're about to fight again, goddammit. It's probably been 10 episodes since this fight started, but it's about time, Nice. So here's a cool thing. Kind of not cool, kind of really cool. So the Best of the West sign is back up, even though you can't go in there yet. It's there. It's clearly going to be opening again, so that's fantastic. Where the entrance to Rolling Thunder is, that's now been converted into a walkway, and it's a hidden path. It's a shortcut between Kingdom Ka and El Toro. So they made use of that walkway, and it is kind of cool looking. It's a wide-ass walkway, and it's pretty neat. So at least something's coming out of that area, because let's be honest, we're never getting Rolling Thunder again. Now,
they have environment characters wearing Fantasy Forest uniforms in there, walking around. That would totally put it over the top. Those top-notch, those uniforms.
Yeah, we know. You wore them. You wore them. We never did. You did.
I never had the pleasure, but they were awesome.
Here's the one thing I love. Peluso, this makes me want to get a job there again. I don't know if you could see it, but if you could see the bottom photo, Look at all those benches in that walkway.
Wow,
Look at them. Oh my God, there's so many green benches.
You can read a different book each bench each day.
This is just like 160 at the end of the season. If I go back into 120 soup, nothing's fucking running, so I get to sit on the bench and read my book. And they put 20 benches in for me. I'm like, God damn it, that's awesome. You know?
Peaceful.
I think so. Another one of the coffee locations is right near the entrance. It's now fully there. Roller Coaster Coffee. It's where the sweet shop was. The Main Street Market, the little store when you first walk in, that's on your left, right behind guest relations, fully redone. Massive renovations on the inside. Looks really nice. The EV chargers have signs up saying coming soon, but people were charging their cars. The guy that posted was like, I don't know what's going on, but they say coming soon, but there's like, and he has a picture of like 5 cars being charged. And I'm like,
it's in beta, charge at your own risk.
Yeah, I mean, a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Here's the cool thing. If you remember, they still had, and I hated these, up until last year, because I hated them when I saw them, when you exit the park, you still had to go through those 3 fucking old turnstiles from the 1960s.
What?
Catch you. Yeah. And they never moved easy, and they would hurt me every time I go through.
Yeah, man, that noise, I can hear it.
Running full speed.
Running into them because they don't move. Remember, those are the ones and press, right? They're gone. They're gone.
Wow.
It's just an open area, and you just exit out the park now. Now, I'm wondering if they have, like, something there, though, because they use those turnstiles as an exit count.
Yeah, but you would think like today's day and age, an AI like video camera could just count.
That's my point. I'm wondering if they have something there now to register the people coming out, because
facial recognition.
They were still doing that. Yeah, they got to have something.
They have an old lady there with a clicker.
If we go in the next month and there is a person with a clicker there, I am going to be so fucking happy. That is going to make my day, man. That is some funny shit. That would make me happy. And one of the cool things they did, which you guys should be able to see this, the big old bush at the entrance now says 50 for the 50th.
Nice.
So instead of the GA bush at the entrance, it is now the 50th anniversary bush at the entrance, which is kind of cool.
Steve loves him some big bush.
I love big bush, man. It's true. It's true. There's a lot of complaints here. I'm not going to go into the complaints right now because we're running short on time. We'll save that for the next one.
I was going to say, that's great for the next one.
Yeah, we'll save that for the next one. Here's people complaining about the one train operations and a wristband. We can pass on that for the next one. That's fine. I will say, so in a lot of the sites I follow, people go to all the Six Flags parks, not just Great Adventure, like they're park fanatics. And they've all said, I got to tell you, Six Flags is out of their fucking minds because nobody else that we know of that we go to our home parks are always 2 to 3 trains on opening day. I have a feeling with Six Flags because they opened so much earlier this year and the weather and all that. And they have so much going on. Maybe that contributed. And they've got to be short-staffed out the ass.
Staffing is.
You got to be short-staffed out the ass. Yeah.
We have nobody to open the park, but we're going to open the park.
Exactly.
Let us piss everybody off.
I will say though that most other parks that I'm following are saying we guarantee 2 to 3 train operations on opening day. And I'm like, I wonder if they know what the feedback is from Six Flags right now, like our park, because why are you even saying that? I've never seen a park say that before. I've seen it on 3 other parks.
It's usually a given that the rides are going to be open. You shouldn't have to broadcast, hey, come on over. Most of the rides are going to be open. Like, what the hell is that? Where else do you go where they have to tell you, hey, and the rides are going to be open? Well, I would hope so. You took my money. What are we doing?
I know.
Yeah.
It's also weird, like when you run a coaster. I'm not a coaster person, but does it take more staff to run 2 coaster trains than 1? It doesn't seem like it, right? Because you're like,
when you had more trains, you would have more people typically.
I mean, really? Like, but 1 or 2 is on the track. The other one's on the track. I don't know.
Right. No, I
you think of it that way, but the reality of it is the more trains you have, the more you have to make sure you give them breaks. I mean, they tire faster, dude. Like when we were doing 3 trains, even on Rolling Thunder, I was tired as fuck, man. Like you didn't fuck around. And Andy, remember 3 trains on mine train? Like if you didn't get that train out in like 30 seconds, you like fucking, that was it. You shut down. Like, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
like we could run one train with 2 people, but if you're gonna run 2 or 3, you need at least 3 to 5 people.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot more work on an individual. It really is. One of the other cool things that I thought, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name, but the new park president, Brian, whatever the fuck his name is, apparently he walked around the park, greeting people and answering questions the entire last weekend. They said he was out there with his name tag. It says Brian Park President, and if you walked up, he would just walk up and just. It literally said Park President. If you walked up,
how many people showed up and bitched at him for running one train per?
I don't know.
What the hell is wrong with you?
But the people that noticed him and posted it said that he was really nice. He shook everybody's hand. If people walked up and asked any questions, he was super knowledgeable. He answered questions. That's pretty cool. I thought that's really neat, though, that like the president was out there doing his thing. I think that's kind of neat. You know what I mean?
I can't believe they opened that early.
Yeah.
February work crew would have had to actually been work.
Exactly.
We would have to accelerate things,
Hey, Chris, running our podcast, there seems to be some scammer on our. You might want to. I know we're about to close down, but you might want to boop that guy, Trump, whatever his name is. I don't know.
Hey,
nobody click on his link, whatever that is. All right.
He said hello.
He was polite, and with his link that clearly has something there.
It was red. It looked like a poisonous spider.
This is why we work with our people, because Chris already banned that son of a bitch. He's already gone.
Nice job.
He's on his way to a prison in Siberia.
Hey, he's the king of Siberia, and if you send him $50,000, he'll be out of that prison. Okay, so a couple rumors. Don't know if these are true. These are rumors out there. One, interesting to some of us because all of us. We're all former Games employees. Duh. Rumor is they're going to change over, which I cannot believe this is just happening now. They're going to change over all the arcades and everything from the old token and ticket system, and they're going to finally go to digital cards, just like Dave and Buster's and all them.
Wow.
How the fuck they haven't done that already?
Like 15, 20 years behind.
Yeah, we go through and look at the stuff, but I've never actually looked at what they take. I assumed that was already done. Yes. When I read this, I was like, what? They're still taking tokens? Like, holy shit.
The 20th century.
Yeah, that one kind of blew me away.
Hey, that's that digital improvement.
Yeah.
You might be right. See?
Especially since they don't own any of that stuff. It's all just leased throughout the year.
Leased out. And you would think the leasees don't want to deal with that bullshit either, right?
They must have got a deal.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Rumor, but Scotty, I don't know if you like or don't like this rumor.
I do. I've heard this already.
All right. No more Congo Rapids.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
But it's not going away. It's just getting called Roaring Rapids again.
Yeah,
all right. There we go. I always thought it
However, every time someone posts this rumor, everyone says, why the fuck are they doing it? Because it doesn't roar anymore. They put the boards up. You barely go down a thing. And the fountain and the waterfalls have not worked in years. So roaring's been gone forever. And I'm like, they're trying. Stop shitting on them.
Maybe they're going to put some lions around or something. Who knows? Some animatronic lions.
I know. I figured you would dig that one, though. So back to the roaring, because it was roaring when you were there, but as a lead, but Congo when you were there as a student.
Yeah, it was renamed before I got there.
It was always Congo when you were there?
But when I went to the park before that, it was always Roaring Rapids.
Yeah,
so I always thought of it that
way. I still, literally, even when we worked there, I still in my head was Roaring Rapids.
Roaring,
Rapids, yeah. So
mostly roaring.
This is a good rumor. This is just ridiculous. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but supposedly Scott's favorite ride is being fully refurbished right now. All enhancements, Skull Mountain is being refurbished.
Oh, look at that.
Now, 4 horizontal loops now.
They're going to turn vertical.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing with Skull Mountain, though. If they actually refurbish it, so those fucking stupid light blocking curtains that are just left open during the entire ride and let light in, they somehow close that out so it is a true dark ride.
Right.
That ride would have been great if it was dark.
Yeah.
The problem with the ride is you see everything, and you see all the garbage sitting under the track. You see everything. So wild mouses, when you can see everything, are not that fun. Like they just give you a little bit of a thrill, and that's it. Wild mouses in the dark are fucking cool as shit because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
If they change that to be fully dark again, I think that'd be a killer. I think that'd be really, really
It
killer.
would definitely be better.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Not going to go over it today, but Universal Orlando did release that they have the new theme park coming out with 5 new parks opening in 2025. Since that's not going to open for another year, we can save it to then. But I will say I'm super excited about the Dark Universe park because they fucked up on the Dark Universe movies and decided to pivot and just open amusement parks with all their Universal monsters. And I'm like, I'm in for that because I love Universal monsters. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
I'll leave you on this one note. So I have a bunch of news items that we don't have time for, but the one I will say is that if you live in North Carolina and you need to be baptized and you're part of the Elevation Church, these motherfuckers, they have their own stage set up and they built an entire fucking water slide on the stage that you can get baptized in by going through the water slide.
That's the way to get baptized.
I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I have never been to church girl in my life. I am all about the Elevation Church right now. I'm like, if you're going to let me get baptized in a water slide, I'm there. Yeah.
I mean, I was a baby, and I'm guessing there's a height requirement, but, for adults.
Oh,
yeah, it's all good.
I'll burst into flames when I walk through the door. So.
You go in, you just see babies flying through the slide. Like, whoa, these guys are crazy.
You should see their funerals.
Exactly. Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Can you imagine? Oh my God. What would it? It's like Viking log flumes. They just light the flume, light the log and let it go. That's their funerals, Like,
oh man.
I like it though. I'm like, it's so funny because I've never been brought up like religious in any way. But when I see like religion trying to do something modern to bring people in and entertain them, I mean, it definitely feels like the HBO show, the Gemstones a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's what it looks like. Because if you ever watch the Righteous Gemstones, they literally have their own like arena that they have their churchgoers come in and they have the stage presence a lot. That's what this looks like. It looks like they have their own like big ass like fucking arena and they have this big ass slide they put there. And I'm like, it's so cool, man. So all right.
So I ordered some pamphlets.
I love it.
Nice.
All right, guys. We got about 3 minutes left. You guys got anything before we shut down? Anything pending? Anything urgent?
No, I thought we were 10 minutes over.
We are. Yeah. But I figure we'll give it to the 40 mark. Chris won't kill us. He's a good guy.
Thanks, Chris.
Although he might just ban all 4 of us. Who the hell knows,
No, it's all good. He fell asleep listening. It's fine.
I always think that's what most people do by the time they hit the hour 15-minute mark. Yeah. So. All right, gentlemen. Good gravy. We've been chatting forever. We already hit our time, and we got to go. Many thanks to everyone who joins us live, everyone that listens afterwards through all the podcast platforms. Signing off for now in 2024 on our first podcast. I am Steve Hicks. My co-hosts are
Scott Loudon,
Chris Peluso,
Andy Auletti.
All right. Thanks, guys. Make it a great day, everybody. We'll see you all soon. Bye.